Hey guys, welcome to another video for the Redmi K20 Pro, and yes, we are talking about Yaap official with the latest Soviet star kernel. So today's video is about a review of this particular ROM because I've been using it on the K20 Pro for the last 2 to 3 days. But before we get into the complete review, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each video, you will find a link to our Telegram community where you have more than 1,000 like-minded people helping each other, so you can join us there and get all the updates as well. Last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so small piece of information before we actually go ahead and start talking about this ROM kernel combo. I would request you guys to please subscribe because more than 80% of the views on this channel are coming from people who have not subscribed, and if we could get that number down to 60 or 50, we would be growing really fast. So if you like the content and if you like what you see, if you like the live streams, well, please subscribe and please hit the notification bell icon so that you don't miss any updates. Now, what do we have here? We have a K20 Pro running Yaap official with the latest Soviet kernel, right? So this is the build which is updated on the 23rd of July 2021, right? In changelog it says refractor and fix visibility handling in network traffic, add open delta to power whitelist, merge latest CAF tags wherever relevant. It does use the OSS vendor and Yaap kernel, and GApps is included. So we went ahead and flashed Soviet kernel because our experience with the Soviet kernel has been amazing. Now moving on, if we have a look at the Soviet star kernel, it was updated on the 26th of July. It does say upstreamed kernel to 4.14.240. This is the changelog for this particular, not for the ROM. Merged F2FS upstream, reworked CPU frequency table to incorporate efficient CPU frequency curve. Debloated and optimized kernel config, enabled O3 and LTO binary optimization, undervolted GPU to reduce power draw and heat. Miscellaneous improvements for performance. Alright, so that's everything about the changelog. Now let's go back to the home screen. Now we have previewed and reviewed this ROM earlier, so why are we doing it again? Now Yaap, for once, even without the Soviet star kernel, has been performing really great. This is a particular ROM which you can definitely use as a daily driver. It has a ton of features which you would really appreciate in your day-to-day usage, and as you can see, I have been using it on my secondary SIM card as well, right? Now first things first, the moment you go ahead and open or you go ahead and set it up and come to the home screen, this is what you will see. To the left you have Google Discover. You do have a very smooth and fluid launcher with the app drawer, and from the top to bottom you do have your notification tiles. Now if you press and hold over here, you will go to home settings. Okay, and you do have a built-in launcher which has a ton of editing options, and it takes care of your editing needs, or it takes care of your home screen editing or what features you need in the home screen pretty well. Double tap gesture is there, hidden and protected apps is also there, and as always the on display fingerprint works absolutely fine, right? And as I said, you do have an app drawer as well. Now moving on, if you talk about the notification tiles, if you have this gesture where if you swipe from the top to bottom, you will get these quick tiles, right? And you do have quite a lot of them which are default. One of them is high brightness mode, as you can see, something that I really like. If you're outdoors and you need to see the phone clearly, you can use the high brightness mode, which really helps. Now you do have a screen recorder which does have a ton of options over here, but if you go over here, it does have device audio and microphone, and if you click on start, you will get a timer over here, after which the screen recording will start. Now what you will also notice is that even though the phone is recording the screen, you don't really have any stutters. I mean, look at the smoothness of this ROM, right? It's so smooth. That Google Discover is so smooth. Even if you go to settings, the scrolling is really slick, and you can tap over here to stop the screen recording, and later you can edit and share and do a bunch of things as always. As you can see, you do have the share and delete option. Right, now moving on to settings over here, right? First let's quickly go to settings, and then let's go to about phone and hit on the Android version. So as you can see over here, we do get the latest July security patch with Android 11. You do get the Easter egg, and if you move this like this for 3 times, you will have the cat game, right? And as you can see, the kernel is the Soviet star kernel, right? So this is not the latest build of the kernel, but you can, and I would recommend you to go ahead and use the latest build of the Soviet star kernel. Now moving on, if we have a look at settings, now this is where most of the ROMs, you know, make or break things, because you would have something like this, Yaap, a dedicated customization menu which, you know, tells you what all can be customized and what all cannot be customized. But before that, what I would like to share over here is it doesn't really, you know, stand out like some other ROMs. It doesn't give you some bold changes like .os, which follows the Android 12 guidelines, but that for me is okay. You do get a few basic icons over here, and it does follow the routine Android 11 guidelines, right? Now moving on, if you go to network and internet over here, you do have Wi-Fi, you do have your, you know, advanced Wi-Fi preferences where you can disconnect and you can automatically reconnect, and all those things which are there in most of the custom ROMs are already present, right? Now moving on, you do have the advanced option over here for private DNS, VPN and other things. Okay, now if you further go to connected devices, you do have Bluetooth, and you do have all the other things, and Bluetooth for me has been working absolutely fine. Now the interesting part over here is Yaap. This is the customization menu. Okay, so if you go to status bar, you do have some customization for status bar, for the battery and other things. And moving on, if you go to quick settings, very few customization options there, right? If you go to navigation bar, again basic things. Go to gestures, okay, you have some, you know, customization over here. Lock screen, some customization over here. Power menu, nothing much. Notifications, ambient edge lightning, you can enable or disable that. You can enable or disable these vibrations. So what I'm trying to say over here is this ROM is not overly complicated when it comes to, you know, customization. It is not like Resurrection Remix or .os or Shapeshift OS wherein you have a ton of customization. This is a very simple ROM which is, you know, dedicated towards being used as a daily driver with some features which would be useful to you. So not to discredit the developers, they are doing a great job, right? Now moving on, if you go to apps and notifications, you do have your usual Android 11 stuff, in which you have conversations for bubble notifications and stuff. You do have app compatibility changes, default apps, permission manager, a very detailed permission manager. You can check all the information about permissions. Special app access can be displayed over here, right? I don't know why settings is taking me to the home screen. Either it's registering the gesture twice or something like that. There is something definitely going on. I've not experienced this in the last 3 to 4 days when I've been using it. Now battery, a very important as oh, okay, so you saw what happened there. This is what custom ROMs are, and I don't really see why that is happening, to be honest, because it's really weird that it's happening at the time of shooting a video. Anyways, let's try. Maybe a reboot will fix this. Nothing big, nothing to worry about. So if you actually, okay, you know what, I'll quickly go ahead and reboot the device. Alright, I will tell you this, I have rebooted the phone and there is something wrong with my flash or something, because I've not had this issue in so many days, but all of a sudden settings is crashing for me. So the battery life on this ROM is pretty good. The fast charging works as expected. On the lock screen you do get the charging info being displayed, so you don't need to worry there, right? And under display as well, you do have a ton of options. Basic things like adaptive brightness are there, and additional features like you know, primary dark color. So some customization is there, and you can, you know, as always have the high brightness mode as well. So pretty neat amount of customization there. Do excuse that the settings is crashing there, but what I will tell you is, you know, Widevine L1 is absolutely fine. If you talk about the fingerprint scanner, well, for me that has worked great. Even when I leave the device alone for, you know, maybe 1 to 3 hours, when I wake up in the morning, even after a long duration, the fingerprint scanner or the FOD works absolutely as expected, right? So all in all, you know, I don't think you would really have any problem using this ROM as a daily driver. And talking about the camera application, it comes with a very basic camera app, and I have clicked some pictures here and there, so that itself is pretty good. You can install Gcam. This is a K20 Pro, so you can go ahead and install ANX camera as well. Now talking about the hardcore performance numbers, you're talking about benchmarks, right? So first things first, let's have a look at the CPU throttle test, because that these days is very important for a lot of people, right? So if you go to library, you will see it does say that your CPU throttled to 89% of its max performance, and the average number of performance is pretty good, and this is a 15-minute test. Ambient temperature would be 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, so pretty good result there. No major throttling detected. I did ran Antutu as well, because of course, why not, right? Now we are back to Mumbai. So 522,577 is the score. These are the individual scores, and last but not the least, our trusty friend there, Geekbench. Let's go ahead and have a look at that. This was the run, 768 and 2747. Now I'll tell you this, Soviet Star in this aspect is pretty good, because this is one of the highest Geekbench scores that I've seen in a very long time on the K20 Pro. So all in all, what I'm trying to tell you is Yaap official with the latest Soviet Star is a great performer. Safety net passes out of the box, so you should not have any problems using your banking applications, and gaming is absolutely okay. Screen recording works fine. So all in all, if you have a K20 Pro, you can just install Gcam or ANX on this and call it a day, just like Siberia. After Siberia, Yaap official for me is turning out to be a great ROM, right? So this is a quick review of this particular ROM, and I have shared my opinion. You let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video, and we're going to be streaming with this particular setup very soon. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.